Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? All right, guys, let's talk. It's all good, guys. It's pretty good. Guys, how's your last week in terms of trading and all? I know it's been a while since I did this live uh, charting session, but probably will do now every week for some time now. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm just gonna wait for a couple more people and then we can start. Nice. Guys, I've charted almost, couple charts already. So I'm gonna go through my main watch list instead of going through all the names. Okay, let's go. Okay, I think we can start. Hello and welcome everyone to weekly live charting and watchlist session. Guys, today's uh things will be the same pretty table we're gonna follow. We're gonna look at some ETFs first and we'll see where them all this market uh how the market health is by looking at all the ETFs like ARC, semis, and then SPY, Dow Jones, and all that. And after that I'm gonna go through my main watch list, all the names, and then we'll find some good setups there. And then in the end I'll take some Q&As and chart requests. So if you do have any, then you can request it in the end. Most likely I'm gonna cover most of the names. If I miss any, or if you guys have any questions, you can ask during the live sessions. First thing first, let's look at some ETFs. Looking at ARC, just sideways consolidation. This last time we did this was the support I was watching. Price is just consolidating in this range for almost over a month now. So nothing really going on in this one. So looking at ARC, same thing. I don't want to say this is a bull flag, but definitely a bear flag setting up nicely. So a key level for ARC would be this. I think this prior week lows 41.91, 49.91 breaks, then I would be looking to play downside on a lot of Cathy names. Uh, so like Roku, I think Roku is showing a lot of strength recently, like Roku and Rivian. I would say all these names I think would be a good shot going forward. because they held up pretty well compared to the general market when the market was dropping. Look at Rivian, they don't look like anything. Like Shop is an also a good example. So I'm watching these names along with ARC, this level. So once this level breaks 41.90, then I'll be looking to play downside on ARC. Also watching this zone here, so it needs to stay below. Probably the magnets will be there too. Mm, yeah, so bigger level 43.50, easy shot below. Yes, they'll come back. It's been a while since I do this. So people not really uh showing up. They think I'm not gonna do it anymore. But if I do it, 1 or 2 weeks in a row, more people will come. But it's all right. So, but those who come, get the benefit. But most of the arc name just gonna look the same, so there's no point. The main thing is that I only follow ARC. I don't follow any other ARC ETF. So if this one is doing bad, all others is gonna do bad. It's that simple. And then looking at jets, because airline held up pretty well too in this drop that we saw recently. But if you look at airlines, the ETF looking weak, same pattern as SPY, uh, head and shoulders in making. So this is a key level for Jets ETF to hold, which is 1667. So I'm probably setting an alert here. So if it's breaking down from this level, then I can go ahead and go short any of the name out there on related to airlines. So BA, Love, and Delta are my top ones. And the next level would be 1636, targeting June lows, uh, which will broke pretty soon, later this month or early next month. Guys, one of the weakest sector uh, semis, one of the weakest sector semis here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to the downside. Okay, holding key support here. So watching formed this nice bullish candle of close Friday. Let me power the volume up. A lot of volume coming in. So this is most related to call witching too. So let's see if that was just a retest, or market will come down and break this 200 psych level on Monday and then continue down to this June lows, July lows here. So bit tricky EMAs. So I'll be watching this highs for any upside on semis, which would be 20817. Be a good level. Anything in between is a chop. So I want to see a full trend change before going long into it. I think above 208 will be a good sign to go long, just to play the dead cat bounce. Probably the gap fill. There's a huge supply up here, so not gonna go anywhere above that. Mm, and then we have uranium, guys. Uranium has a lot. Uranium had enough. Nice run uranium had over this past month, but now it's just losing steam here. So what's next? It's going to fill this gap for sure. So I'm going to be playing CCJ. So yeah, CC has the same setup. So broke this uptrend. So I'm watching, probably broke the magnets too. Yeah, magnets are broken. So I'm going to set an alert to the downside. This is uranium. And then my target is, guys, this is gap fill, and this is a really nice demand zone right here. So let's see if we can, do something like this and then bounce off of it. Right. And then we got this biotech. But are doing the same thing. It's just in this phase for pretty long time. Everywhere I see this pattern. Let's see how well it's gonna play out. Biotech is in this just a range here in this weekly daily range. So anything above or below this range would be a good play. So definitely watching. Material sectors pretty weak, same as SPY. Communication sector hit a new low, guys. So with the communication sector hitting new lows, I am definitely watching two names. VZ, one of the best top shot setups here to the downside. If we break this lows here, high volume coming in, rejection. So so if we break this Friday lows or this range low here, would give us a really nice short opportunity on VZ. No real support here up until like 38. So definitely 2.5 point move is possible on VZ. Should be like 2 to 500% move. Um, XLE XLE is an interesting spot. Demand destruction is at the best right now. Looking at CL, not a good candle here. Broke this range, went on faked out, retested it, now going back down. It has this small demand. I want to say this is a valid demand zone because this zone couldn't take out the prior high. So this is a weak zone here. So if we break below this zone, then definitely more pain coming for oil. And then if you guys haven't noticed recently, oil and SPY, they're moving kind of the same in the past week or so. So SPY is going down, oil's also following SPY in that terms. Let's looking at this ES chart. Let's quickly compare it with the oil. Like see, oil is following S&P now. Look, it just dropped right here, dropped with the S&P, consolidating sideways with S&P, going up a little bit, going up along with it. Look at this drop along with this spy. So if you're the one looking at oil to play the opposite side on on s- on spy or on the market, so be careful using that strat. Mm, XLF. Financial, same thing. Still holding this level compared to SPY. So in a range, can't tell anything about it. Just price. Whenever price in range, I don't like to trade it. I want a price to break out of a range and then so be a good risk to reward to play. That particular sector bank did not show that. So either we break this highs, either we break this lows. Only then will be a good trade in the banking names. Industrial pretty overextended here, but a big breakdown. So definitely new lows coming for industrial sector. Expecting June lows to visit pretty soon, and then broke this key level here. So I think any pullback is it's just gonna get sold pretty hard. We'll look at Qs on this one. In real estate, just sector just going bad. Big ass head and shoulder here on real estate. Real estate. Let's probably not touch this lows here to 38.67. So a bit extended here. So what I want to see is some sort of bearish pattern and then breaking down again. Utilities. Utilities could be another good shot. The reason uh, is this double top, and then there's probably a nice ass divergence too. Yes. And then so watching this key support here on utility 74. So 74 broke, and then I am looking to go short Coke. um, if I'm looking at Coke, uh, the one thing that I want to discuss is this, guys. If looking at Coca-Cola, holding this March lows, kind of breaking down. So if XLU starts to break down, and then there's a nice gap to fill on downside, so it would give us a really good shot on utilities going forward. Healthcare, kind of same thing. um, so Pfizer, J&J, Moderna, all these names I'm watching. So not a good looking chart, but not good, but price is in a range. So either price breaks either side, be a good trade. But for now, just ranging. So if you want to take a healthcare sector trade, wait for this range to break out and then get into a trade. NEE, yeah, NE is there a lot of volume coming in, so nice gap to fill. Definitely, I have my alert set here already, so should see more downside on next energy. Mm. Consumer no, this is sideways. XME. So now let's go back into Dow Jones. Broke big level here. I would say this is a huge bear flag or uptrend, broke down, and then some sort of most people are looks like bullish going into next week just by looking at this hammers here on Dow Jones, on IWM, or on SPY. But I have a little bit different view than most, which I'm going to discuss here on SPY. So guys, first of all, I'm gonna discuss my long-term view on SPY. That if you follow me for a long time, you following for a long time, so then you probably know that I've been pounding the table that SPY is gonna hit some new lows. And then if you follow me on Twitter, I've been posting my SPY analysis, and then you're saying this is gonna go to around 320 300 zone before any potential bottom on SPY. And then so far, following the perfect analysis, and then we did catch the top around this zone here, and not this one but here, right? So call the top around this one, and then our puts printed 1000%. So I will go through that trade when I break down this pie in a smaller time frame. So first thing first is the micro time frame analysis. Is that with prices consolidating in this huge bear flag, when market hit this lows here, and then there was a lot of bearish sentiment in the market, and then we got this nice range broke out. And then when price hits 430, and then there were a lot of bulls in the market. So like, all right, the bottom is in now. This is not a short covering rally anymore. The lows are in, so we're gonna play the upside. But all this, guys, all this pump just to consolidate in a bear flag, and then breaking down last week. So now what's next? So what's next is, so the price. So this is a wave one completed already. So I'll be watching this one. So this is obviously a wave one. This is a wave two going on, and then this is wave three right now going on. So what's next? Going into smaller time frame, 15 minutes, we have a small gap to fill at, I think, 378. We have a small gap to fill at 378. And then if you look at one, so this is one, two, and then this is three, four, and five. No, so three, four, and five. So I expect one more low on SPY next week before it going much higher, and then giving us the best short opportunity in the US stock market history. So this is something that I'm looking to pan out. So watching this Friday lows, we break that, and then we instantly gonna go fill this gap. Once this gap is filled, I do not want to go short anymore. Unless price shows otherwise, right? So I'm gonna follow the price action, not the bias. But risk to reward will be much lower after this wave comes down for the bear. So what are my plans after is I'm gonna wait for this huge wave one to finish, and then this wave to go into my spot here, and then which would also be a retest of this trend line, and then this is where I would like to add my big short position here, and potentially write down the third wave to the downside with a target of around 340 350 on the next wave down. So let's see how that plays out. So that's my game plan on spy. I do not even care to play this small downside, as long as I get a nice rebound of this full move here. So any small rebound of this downtrend move would give us a good short opportunity going forward. So definitely be watching, and then when I take the position, I will alert on my Twitter and free Discord. So I don't want anyone to miss out this big short opportunity that is setting up in the markets. So that is that. And then the 900% trade that I took last week, I'm gonna explain the reasoning behind it pretty quick. It was not that hard. So CPA was gonna come, and CPA, if you look at 4 hour, this was CPI date, and then everyone was really bullish going into CPI data, but not us. And then just using our analysis, there was a 1 2 3 4 5 waves up. We shorted this top here, rode all the way back down in the month of August, hit all the really nice place, and then now it was a time for a rebound. Price rebounded it. This is a wave one, this is wave two, this is currently wave three going on right now. So this was a clear supply zone, right? This was a clear supply zone going on, and so there is no reason to short when price haven't met even supply yet. So a lot of people are shorting in this range here. I was trying. I took my short position in this candle, and then when price touched this supply zone here, that just confirmed my thesis that it's gonna drop a lot. And then look at the 61% retracement of the highs. That was coming down, and then we have this 200 magnet confluence was there before going up. This whole move down, rejected it once, rejected here, 200 magnet, rejected here in the couple time in the past. So it was going there once again, in confluence with this fresh daily supply. Look at this daily supply. uh, Price moved up, formed a base. This base was so strong that it broke the prior lows, and then moves the downside. That means that's a clear heavy sellers are sitting in this zone, waiting for price to come back to this zone and short it again. So this is what they did. Top ticked it, uh, and then rejected it. Looking at a smaller time frame, we were in puts. We were in a put swing actually, before going into CPI, because I was expecting this huge dump of CPI news. Um, and then it's perfectly gone to a rejected hard, and then puts printed almost 1,000% around this lows here. So closed most of my position, but still holding some contracts, but gonna start adding more going forward. um, Another confluence that I got, to go short over the inflation CPI numbers is this chart here, CRB. This is a commodities chart. So I was looking at this commodities chart, and then saw this whole month of August price just went up, and then nothing else. If you look at, since the start of August, all these prices went up by 12% until the end of August. Look, just starting of this month, price found a bottom, and then just at the highs on 30th of August, price found the top. So that means in August the prices were, all the commodities were higher than the March. They were up 12%. So inflation data was gonna come bad for the month of August. That also gave me a good thesis to go short. Excuse me. So that give me a good confirmation to go short on the market over the CPI. Where spy? So guys, I hope you like the spy analysis. I would like the spy analysis. If you guys still have any questions, you guys can ask in the chat or can ask on the Twitter. My coffee got cold. Uh, Somebody asked about lithium. I would say price is consolidating in this range here or in this uptrend channel or bear flag, whatever you want to call it, but not a good looking chart. You know, in terms of this patterns, huge head and shoulder setting up. In terms of smaller time frame, there is another small head and shoulder setting up. So the levels that I'll be watching is these are the important lows on lithium here. Mm, So this level and this zone 71.28 is a good level to hold. And then if we break this 168.56 is gonna come next. So this is a big level to hold. If this level broke, definitely new lows coming on lithium. So these are two levels I'll be watching. As my game plan on Monday, I told you all I'm already short over the weekend. Uh, I don't care about this hammer here, so just I follow my plan. Hmm. Guys, you can't hear my voice. Let me know in the chat if you guys can, or if you just if only single person. So you guys already know my plan. So one more dip before going long, and then ultra short at this zone here. So I will keep you guys updated on the Twitter, guys. If you guys missed it or couldn't understand, we'll explain on Twitter when we finish this session. So all right, guys. So we're done with ETFs. So now we're gonna go with the names here. Double A. Prices at support here. So I wouldn't like to go short on double A yet, but really good name, guys. Moves really good. If you have a small account, definitely check this out. Check this out. Name. When this thing moves, guys, this thing moves really nice. So I remember I think it was this last of August. I caught this move for like 6-7% on the day, and then printed really nice puts on it. I occasionally play it only when it breaks out of a key level. So when I see a clear range breaking or a fake out, only then I go play these kind of names. But when they moves really nice. A lot of volume coming in. Definitely new lows coming on this name. So watch this 39.77 on lows here to be to broke to play the downside on it. Around $30. Still 20 to 15 to 20% move still happening on this name. Airbnb, huge rejection, guys, at the same spot, huge rejection again. So what's next? Holding this uptrend really nicely. So the key level is 116.35. So I won't take Friday lows because this was a prior range breakout. So this could just be a break and retest of the range. So I'm gonna watch 116.50 level to play the downside on Airbnb with the targets of 110. As Adobe is a good one. Let's say market is sideways Monday or Tuesday because of the CPI, because of the FOMC meeting we have next week. So I think Adobe would be the good one to play uh, just the bounce like for 5-10%. And then the reason is it's holding this demand zone and this daily demand zone right here, and then this was this hourly gap right here which is got filled. So I think this is a perfect bounce spot for Adobe. The reasoning is this is a really good zone because its price went up, pulled back, formed a base, and then broke higher, broke this prior low, so broke the prior high, just went higher, and then never looked back. So this is the first time price is visiting that base here. So and then we did see some sort of reaction of the zone, some hammer, and then price is very extended. Uh, Price is very extended from the magnet. So expect some sort of bounce to like 320, 325. Would be a good one. So definitely on high watch Adobe to play the upside. Forum is another one. Uh, this is also good for small accounts, right? Especially guys, whenever if you want to play all these names, let's say a forum, a forum, and then there's a UPST, there's a Square, and there's a couple more other with the same sector. Well, let's say you want to play a forum, go look at UPST, go look at Square, go look at Visa, and go look at MasterCard, all these names to see how they are doing. So if they're all weak, and then you can go ahead and then pick and choose the weakest setup in a Mongol and then play it. So if let's say if you are looking at a forum and it's breaking down, and then you look at all the four others, they're not breaking down, they are just sideways or they're going upside, the guys, then that means there are very less likely chances that that setup is going to play out too. So always watch their relative names and the relative ETFs to play any either downside or upside on any name. So Affirm is a good one. So I'll be watching this downside move below 2140 with the targets of this is small target 20, but I expect this to break this too and then go to 1640 on this break here. So let's see how that plays out. AMAT same as like Sammy's ETF. Most of Sammy's names are gonna look the same. So I will try to filter out uh, to see which has the best setup. Mm, let's look at MU. MU is a good one. ESM. Looking at AMC, pretty weak candle on Friday. And then what's next? I'm watching is A77 support to play the downside. A24 is a good one. It's a good target after that. So let's looking at this chart here. Yeah, 824 is a good 877 is a good level, definitely good level to play the downside. And then we got this AMD. As AMD, the only level I'm watching is this one, 72. That's it. If this level is huge head and shoulder in place, so price is already down a lot. So small rebound of this zone here, to this supply would make sense. This is a nice supply here. So any rebound to this supply zone is a good shot for AMD going forward. All right, draw my pen. I don't want to play AMD on that break, so I'll just have this white line. We break this, and then it's gonna go straight to 60. It's not gonna stop at 60, guys. Then it's gonna go to 48. Is my target on 48, 60. These are two targets I have on AMD. So once AMD hits 60, this is where around 50 zone. This is where I would add AMD first time to my long term portfolio. Amazon, huge bear flag, guys. It's a big as bear flag breakdown, and then what's next? It's gonna go more down. It's definitely gonna go more down. So what I'm watching is, guys, as long as price is below this range, any pop is a sell. Any pop, let's say, price pops in here, this consolidate here, it's gonna dump it back down. So any pop toward this supply zone is a sell, in my opinion, in Amazon, just by looking at SPY chart. So the levels for Amazon would be, that's a demand here, daily demand. So we break this Friday lows, and then it's instantly gonna go down to this demand here. Lot of hammers here. So what time is the futures gonna open? You still have time. American Express sideways. Wait a second, guys. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. BA holding this prior breakout level perfectly, 141.44. So if this level holds, then I expect some sort of bounce here on BA, to this trend line at least. And then this is the next resistance zone here on BA. So any break above Friday highs, can go to like 150, 150, 151. So break below is both are the good setups. So watching the upside on BA. Bob is an interesting one. So broke this head and shoulder. I don't care much about this pattern here, but the only thing that I care about is this huge range, broke down, closed under it, and then watching this 85.40 low break to play the downside. A huge gap here to fill around 80, 81. So should give us a good play Monday. If it is not, if it didn't gap down. Along with Baba, I am also watching Neo to play the downside. The only reason I'm watching Neo is look at the weekly chart on Neo, shooting star of the supply, probably gonna print bearish engulfing. Uh, some I want this bearish engulfing next week, somewhere around that, which would confirm, that the weekly top is in, and then we are, bound to go to new lows here. So looking at also Hong Kong index, HSI, not looking great, weak chart, uh, rejecting all this uptrend back again, and then coming back to this March lows, definitely gonna break, and then also holding this level, this huge uptrend. So definitely going to touch this uptrend at least once, for now. So looking at this Hong Kong index, and then looking at this, all these Chinese names, let's say, this Baidu, not a great looking chart. PDD, holding up well compared to other ones. So looking at Fudu, you know, not a good chart, and just breaking down bad here. So you guys get the point. And then, guys, another thing that I wanted to go through over, the two things that I wanted to go over, really quick, related to the market, is which is gold. Um, Looking at gold, guys, broke big level here on gold. Looking at this zone here, it was holding this zone for almost like since last June 2020, and then almost 2 years of range broke down on gold with the higher interest rates. So what's happening, what's going to happen now? So I don't expect gold to go any higher of these current levels. Retesting happening on Friday, so I expect gold to continue to be weaker, to test these zones here, 1562, which is a big zone. And then also gold broke this uptrend that it was following from this last August 2018. And then this double top is in full effect, so definitely seeing gold going much lower in the coming months. And then if you guys don't know, gold hates higher interest rates because gold does act as a currency in the end. And then this is a bit of like breakdown too. So looking at this, and there's another thing that I posted on Twitter too about it, which is Canadian to US dollar. I mean US to Canadian dollar. Um, this pair here. I go on the 2 weeks chart, and then I'll see price made a new highs. This is a triangle breakout to the upside on some volume, and then I look at the relative strength index, which is right here. Looking at relative strength index right here, new highs, guys, new highs on relative index strength here. What does that mean for US dollar? What does this mean is for this USD Canadian pair? So if this Canadian dollar gets weaker, the stock market tends to go down, and vice versa. So what we're seeing now is there's a huge relative strength, new highs, and whenever a trader, if you want to go short the market, I also want to look at the relative strength, how weak and the strong the trend is. But right now, there's no bear in sight for this pair, and no new highs on the strength. What do you guys want to see is whenever watching for a reversal is some sort of, you want to see a relative strength index making these highs, and next time it's making lows here, and then there's a divergence in price, and then in terms of price is going up. So there's a divergence in price is going up, and then there's a negative divergence. But right now the price is going up, and then strength, this relative strength index is also making new highs, which confirms that this third wave is still going on, and then that means there's still a lot more pain to come to US stock market. Um, so that's what the two things that I want to share real quick, gold and dollar. Looking at, guys, beyond, guys, one of the best short setups in the market, free falling after breaking this prior lows, broke this lows here, and then retested perfectly. We shorted this in the premium group. Retested it, I think, shorted for 50 or 70% play, but I didn't hold for Friday, and then now it's looking even much weaker going forward. Definitely gonna see. It's just gonna be a penny stock under $10 pretty soon. So any pop on beyond is a good shot. Citigroup, I think some news was coming out from Citigroup, some bad news is, so definitely watching the downside on it. If whole market is weak, then this is a nice consolidation phase. Was going in, breaking down as a nice gap to fill to the downside, and for upside, it's all right. This is like a lot of resistance, guys. I don't like to play, either, I catch the bottom of it, then I'm fine. But if I want to play the breakouts, then I want it to clear some certain daily levels, some certain daily magnets to play the breakout. I just don't play the breakout. Let's say on Friday it started breaking out of this highs, and there are very less chances that I will play this breakout, because the reasoning is there. There are so many resistances along the way, that it can just reject at any. So unless price breaks above all the key levels and then all the magnets, then I can safely take a trade with the of high chances of it working out. Cat. just sideways, guys. So, nothing. Most of the setups are holding this 8 September lows here. So anything below that would be a good shot. CCJ, we already talked about it. Mm. I don't have to play CCL. I mean, it's only a $10 stock. I mean, if you have a small account, and then go ahead and play these. But I like to play RCL, LUV because there's no point of getting 10-cent contracts and paying $2 commission on it. Chew is a good setup. Chew is a good setup, but needs a little bit of patience here. So the reason, nice bear flag into the supply rejecting. So what's next? So if we break this 33.55 level here, so let me remove this one. So this is a nice daily range here. Nice daily range. Break of this daily range. Break of this uptrend. A good shot for Chewy with the targets of 32 to the downside here. CLF. I think it's gonna be should be on your watch list. This one bit extended, but it has the look of just bleeding. Probably a pause for a couple days and then starts bleeding, but it's definitely gonna break this lows just by looking at this wild action. Comcast, nothing going on right now. Coin's not looking good, but it just could be no swings on coin, but just intraday play on coin. We break this 73 26 level and we go to 70.32 intraday play. Can pay nice 40-50% on that break. Um, but definitely watching Costco. Costco is a good one, but the only thing that I don't like, about Costco, the cons are really, are very spready on Costco, so just like to avoid it. CRM, nothing really going on in CRM. Just following SPY. So guys, if I see any chart following SPY, especially this CRM, all this, all these other names, then I just go ahead play SPY. Um, or sometimes all these names, if there's it depends, guys, where the risk to reward is much higher. So if crowd breaks this lows, right, and then if crowd breaks this low, let's set an alert here for next week at 167. So if crowd breaks this low, it's definitely gonna go a lot down. And then I see spice breaking down too. Then over spy, I would take crowd, because crowd has more room down at 150. So there's a more reward playing crowd than spy here at that levels. So you gotta choose, pick and choose. Cisco, what's next? I think Pop's gonna get sold on this one too. Not a good looking chart by this huge earning gap up and then just whole bear flag breakdown. So I don't think it's done yet. So I'm gonna set my alerts at 42.75. So any break below is a good shot to the downside. I don't want to play the upside unless the market is telling me to play the upside. I see some sort of base. I see spy filling the zone, or if I go look at spy in 30 minutes. So unless I see SPY currently trending upside, break this range and then break this downtrend, just holding the magnets to the upside, only then I would go play the upside on all these other names out there. Oh, I think I forgot Apple. Where is Apple? Is not in the list. Yes, Apple's pretty weak compared to all the other names out there. Microsoft is a bit weaker too. Guys, we also caught the top on this uh, Apple here, this huge rally into the daily supply. was suggesting the bigger pullback was going to come, and then we added October puts of this zone here, starting here, and then kept on adding in this range here, and then it finally dumped, paid us around 100% on our puts. Easy swing. Mm. So holding key level. So I'll be watching 153.40 level, not 153.40, but 153.50 level uh, going into next week. So see how price react of this level. Probably the magnets are there too. Yeah, the magnets are there. So see if rejecting of this level can give us a good shot of this range here. But for now, sideways. Where were we? Delta. Yes. So delta looks like a good shot here at these levels. So 3150 is a good spot. So setting an alert at 3150 to play the downside on Delta Airlines. Huge bear flag setting up, head and shoulder are playing, but if unless we break this lows there, which is 30, it's not gonna confirm any downside because price can just be consolidating. This price made a low, price made a high. So in it price in just in this range here. So either we break this high, so we break this lows. You know, we're gonna play that trend. Dash, nothing going on, just sideways action. Only we break this lows, a good shot. If we compare this to Beyond, Beyond broke this lows and then instantly dumped a lot. So Dash is gonna be the same one, just needs a little bit more patience here on Dash before shorting. Datadog, nothing really going on in this one. I don't like to play these shitty names, with the wide ass spread. Guys, how was your last week, guys? I mean, how was your month of August? Were you guys profitable, or not? If you guys, are struggling with anything, if you guys wanted me to make, a certain video, so if you guys wanted me to talk about a certain topic in the live sessions, or if you guys wanted me to make videos on like a shorter videos on a certain topic, also let me know in the chat. I'll try to uh, include that in next time I do the shorting session. Disney holding this key support here. So as again, this daily range, I think the bounce is gonna get sold. If you look at this daily range, as long as price is below this range here, there's no point of playing the upside on it. As DKNG watching both sides going forward, because just looking at ARC, if ARC break that support here, DKNG is gonna bleed a lot. And then if we break this 19, if we ARC held that level, and then DKNG can see a good pop because we already seen a nice strength here in DKNG. eBay, nothing going on. As Anfish Energy is one that I'm watching. You know, this bull flag breakout, followed by this sideways consolidation here. So watching is 325 level, huge volume coming in, this consolidation, no volume. This in this After breaking out, huge volume coming in, probably one more leg up before coming down would make sense. So 325 level I'm watching breaking at, 335 is a good target here. And watching this trend line is coming from this highs here, the prior highs. So watch this. If we goes there reject, would give us a good shot on end phase. If we start rejecting this trend line here. Mm. So let's see. Looks like a bear flag, but nothing's confirmed. Unless we break this lows here, which is $100. And then for intraday, 105.37 is a good level to play the downside on it. For upside, it's a huge range, so I would wait. If you're a breakout trader, then I would wait for price to break out and then take the trade. As next week, oil names and these, what do you know? These, Expedia group, say these travel names. Yes, all these travel names are on my watch list to play the downside, because they held up pretty well. And then now, it's time for it to go down. Google, I think I did Google. Let's quickly do Google here. Guys, Google holding is key support here. Bounce loss is key support. We can see some sort of bounce here. Looking at the weekly chart, wheel is a bit extended, but huge volume coming in. Weekly looks like it just want to dump so bad. Weekly has a look. Um, Watching this daily, I think if we break this Friday lows, for now it's just kind of in the middle. Can't say if it's a bullish or bearish, but looking at SPY, looking at this daily chart, most people would assume that there are chances that bounce can come of this high. Say, let's look at the daily strength index. There are very less chances that price would go up any more higher. Yeah, pretty weak. So any bounces, guys, you see any bounces to, let's say, this zone is gonna get sold. Any bounces you guys see in this zone, as long as prices stays below this zone, 112. I don't think it's gonna go to 112 anytime soon. So let's see if this is the bottom. Then I'll be watching uh, this low here to play the downside. This is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the downside. Right, so this is something that I'll be looking. GDX, one of the top short setups in the market. Where is GDX? GDX. Here comes the GDX. So the reason, mm, this bear flag breakdown, retested it. So watching gold. So if gold stays below that zone that I mentioned below, which is this 1682, or just this zone in general. So as long as gold stays below this zone here, should give us a really nice shot on GDX to short it back down to just even to the COVID lows here. So definitely a good shot on high watch. I'm watching General Motors too to play the downside if the market is sideways, and then I expect General Motors to do bad along with Lucid and Rivian and Tesla. So all these EV names showing a lot of strength, because it doesn't mean they are strong in the market. It just means they have more shorts in it, right? There are more short coverings going on right now, which will dump eventually sooner or later. Look at Nvidia. It had a really nice pump before, huge pump of this lows here, at from 141. Everyone was so bearish on Nvidia at that point, and then it went up 40%. And then everyone suddenly got very bullish on it. It's a huge squeeze and then dumped it back down to new lows. Apple, same thing, huge squeeze. Guys, look at the history and then see, right? Look at this huge squeeze here. Everyone was panicking Apple was gonna see new highs. The bear market is over. Apple gonna hit new lows. And then what happened, followed by a huge dump, and then this rally into the supply, following by huge dump. Probably going to break this lows pretty soon too. So look at all these factors, and then make up your thesis. So which stock was we looking at? It was go no GM. So yeah, so GM. So watching this 39.71 to play the downside. I'm gonna go through Lucid real quick. So ugly candle, Lucid, definitely watching the downside. And looking at Tesla. Tesla, I'm watching this Friday highs, not even Friday, I just in this whole range. So watching this 314 to play the upside. Anything in the range, not gonna play it. So so definitely watching these EVs. GM with the targets of 38.42 next on GM. GameStop sideways consolidation, nothing really going on. If you want to go long, then I would wait for this 29 13 break, or if you want to be more patient, then 30-32 break uh, uh, play would make more sense. Home Depot, nice bounce of this prior June lows here. Can see some. This is 1 2 3 bounce is gonna get sold. As another travel name looking weak, HLT. This morning star bearish pattern here on high volume. So probably one or 2 days consolidation sideways and then dump it back down below this 129 level. Break this 129 and just as game over for HLT. Probably not fill this gap here on this break. Um, Hood, because since the hood hit this $10 mark here, around these zones, just being really choppy. This was a really nice trended following, and then after that it just a lot of chop. So only trade when it breaks some key levels here. So a key level would be in this case is this one 1007, and then the next key level which is a big one 890, and then this nothing in between. There are a lot of good setups out there. So HPQ, the probably the one of the rarest name that I'm watching the upside on. Just by looking at the volume, don't know yet if it's a selling volume or upside volume, but I have this this range here and this nice supply zone up here. So we break this nice gap to fill. So if we break this lows, which is far away from to break on Mondays, but if we break this, definitely also watching the downside. But it's close to the call trigger, so I have my call trigger on. Mm. IBM is a weak. IBM is weak. I don't even know if I want to play IBM. No, it's okay. Guys, one of the weakest semis name is Intel. I would never put a penny in Intel in a long term, because of all these the competition they have right now, and all that stuff. The only the semis that I want to go long is probably AMD, Nvidia, and then the third, or this is the first one after and then after Nvidia and AMD comes on is my number one. The semi name, and then I try in the next dip down. I will definitely add on to my long term port, uh, because just look how strong this name is in this relative in this market here. This bull flag again setting up, hit new all-time highs in August. This semiconductor name, and then it's huge bull flag breakout. You just keep going. You do not care about the market at all. So all these names you want to look into, those who have high relative strength compared to other names. And then when the market actually reverses, those are the names which will outperform the market. Mm. Guys, watching J&J for upside, um, just by looking, this huge downtrend breaks since this June here, right? So healthcare, utilities, oil, all these names, most of the time they move. They don't have much correlation with the markets, And then when this moves reverses, we often see reverses in the market. And then Johnson and Johnson showing, yeah, it's breaking this downtrend here on some huge volume. So next week I'm watching this 167.75 to play the upside on it. Should give us a really nice upside movement with the targets of 170, 171 around these zones, and then we see the weakness in the market. As you guys saw that we had a weak utilities ETF, and then look at all the utility names, pretty weak. Pick any one or two, wait for lows to break, and then get traded. Should be an easy one in the next one. So Lucid, definitely top watch, just by looking at the volume of this daily rejection too, and then looking at also this volume shelf here, right rejected this volume shelf. So there's not much of volume traded back down there, so it's definitely gonna hit this lows pretty soon. Look, perfect rejection of this volume. uh, yeah, GN just gonna pop. Lemonade, if you guys like this name or trade this a lot, and then it's time for it to go back down again. Nice bear flag starting up. 2025 is a good level to play the downside intraday, and then for a swing I would wait for this level to break down. Close below it should give us an easy target going downside. Short squeeze, dump it back down, consolidate in the bear flag, trap the bulls, give them a hope that is this squeeze gonna come again, and then dump it back down, break the lows. Right, so that's how market works. Natural gas, bit tricky. Nat gas coming down, head and shoulder setting up on the natural gas. This is not gonna end well. LNG, watching this lows here on LNG to break to play the downside. Lulu, no, the spreads are pretty wide. Love Airlines, this is dumped. What the fuck? I didn't even know. Looking at 50 minutes, see if we could have played it on Monday, on Friday. Not really. Didn't give us a good entries. Just dumped back down. Yes, keep this name on your watch list. I told you guys the airline's gonna be weak. The travel sectors or EVs, high chances can show some weakness next week. Watching lift to the downside, just ugly candles to the downside, high rejections. So watching this 16 level to play the downside on lift with the easy targets of 1530 intraday, no swings. This is the setup, guys. This is the setup. But gotta be patient here. Need to be very patient to play the downside movement on it. So for now, looks like volume coming in of this support here. So price in this small range. So I'm watching either side. So either we break this 1710 level, and then we trade a little bit higher. It's intraday scalp or intraday play here, right? And then we break this 1623 level, and then close below it. Then it can be a good swing for Macy's. MasterCard, no, it's okay, guys. Mara is a good one. I prefer Mara over Coin going forward. The reason it has more clean levels than Coin, and less manipulated, I would say. And then the next level here is 880 on this ones. And then we also have this one small level 980. So have your level like a dollar apart, that's it. So 1070 level break, then it's gonna go more down, looks like an extended move here. So same thing, I want to see, consolidation, some more consolidations either sideways or in a bear flag, and then break it to the downside. Guys, Meta, if you are not shorting Meta, I don't know what to say. Guys, any pop, any green day, I see on Meta, I would go short. It's that easy. It's that easy, guys. So we got this 1 2 1 2 3 to the downside. So now let's say this is a short-term bottom. Let's say this is a short-term bottom on Meta, and this is the daily supply right here. Price just not gonna go up. It's above this level. No, there's no chance. Um, so price already broke this day one. So to anything, any pullback to any 160s is a sell. As long as price stays below this zone, any pop is a sell. So if I want to play intraday, then I'll be watching this Friday lows break to play the downside. If we break this low, it's just gonna dump hard. They don't want it. They don't want this shit. Next target on that is 137 on that break, but I would also have this 142 level to play. So guys, this name should be on our watch list if you guys want to make some easy bucks. And this name too. Guys, watch this name 3M. I've been shorting this name since this news came out after lawsuits, I guess, and then it's just pretty weak, playing this for 40 50 100% every week, couple times. So for now, looks like a bit extended, give it some time, and then looks like weekly is probably a bit extended too. Yeah. Weekly is but extended, if there's a more consolidation on the weekly, then the breakdown would be even more nice on this one. So watch these COVID losses, holding this COVID loss. We break the COVID loss, and then it's game over. For 3M, 107 is the next level. This names moves really nice. Because we saw the material sectors pretty weak, and MP materials showing the same thing. Same setup as SPY, I would say. MRK, I like to play the choppy as name. Moderna in the range. I like to play Moderna. This is a good name. Moves really nicely. The cons moves pretty quick. But for now, there's no trade. Price in this daily range, either we break, either side would give us a good trade. So for now, patience. Morgan Stanley, I think I'm kind of convinced that I'm gonna have banks to my watch list too. So I'm gonna have one banking name in my watch list just to see how the banks are doing, because it gives you the early direction sometimes of the market. Guys, whenever I trade, I have these ETFs in front of me all the time. Like look at this SPY, and then I have this VIX, Qs, IWM, SPY, some mess. All the time in front of me, and then alongside this I have one more like art names, all this stuff, and then alongside with this one I also look at these names too all the time, like crude oil, gold, 2-year bonds, and then US dollar, how it's doing intraday. If I'm getting into a trade, let's say I want to get into a SPY trade, then I go look at all the ETFs, how all the ETFs are doing. Let's say let's say I want to trade SPY the upside. I want to see how VIX is doing. I want to see how Qs are doing. I want to see how IWM doing, if it's lagging or not, right? And then looking at dollar two, let's say I want to go short SPY, then I want to see some a strength in dollar. Let's say this breakout of this key level here, so it's holding above it, that means I can go short SPY here. And then gold is breaking out too along with SPY, so that's also a good sign that we are trading in the right direction. And then for now, I mean, I do not follow oil this last week because it's following SPY. So I don't want to have you know thesis that if oil's going down, I don't want to go short SPY. So but if it's following perfectly, so then I do not care about it much. So that's kind of the game plan that I set before getting into a trade, looking at all this stuff and then get into a trade. Right. So all this all stuff you got to do in like half a minute or even less than that. So Microsoft holding key level, a bounce here would make sense. A bounce here would make sense to these zones here. It's not going to be mass. It's going to be bear flag consolidation, or some bear pattern rising wedge, or whatever. It's going to be a bear pattern, and then into the supply into in here, and then rejected back down to the downside, and then most people likely would say this uptrend break retest and then dump it back down. So Microsoft or any other name, good shots. Ooh, MSTR. I don't like to play MSTR on Mondays, Tuesdays, but only the last 2 days of the week, because these things moves like 15-20 points in one day, and then if you catch a good move on this one on Thursday or Fridays, then you're set. So the only reason I play these names. What time is 11:20? That's MU, one of the best setups, short ones. But for now, I'm not going to talk about it much because the market is looking a bit overextended. Norwegian Cruise, huge relative strength. Let's say market decide to bounce, then Norwegian Cruise is a name that I'll be playing the upside 1557, and then this is also key support if that's a fake out, which would confirm candle closing below, retesting this level, opening a short position here, and then going back to the down line. Guys, we're gonna go below June lows. We're gonna go below June lows. The reason that I think is, guys, like the pain that is gonna come next. Like look at inflation, looking at the interest rate hikes. All these hikes that we are having right now. Let's say 75 basis point hikes we get next week, or another hike after that, or the hikes that we already got in the last 1 month or two, is that we're not seeing their effect right now on the economies. If we're going to see their effect on the economy going forward, and then market is always forward looking market, and then the reason that market dropped because of the CPI numbers, because market was expecting lower numbers, and then we market pumped from the June lows to the highs, expecting the inflation to drop, expecting Fed to pivot in the next FOMC meeting, and then after the next CPI report, and the CPI report came in, higher inflation number as we were expecting, and then so there is zero chance of Fed to pivot now in the next FOMC meeting. So market participants are scared, and then they are expecting more hikes in the coming future. And then if you look at any other countries out there, they are not in a very good shape. I mean, we're looking at UK, we're looking at Europe, and then looking at Russia, and looking at China. All these economies are looking pretty bad at the current times. And then on top, the winter is coming. All these the coronavirus, these things don't come back, and then this I don't believe this stuff. But the main thing that I'm concerned about is the energy prices that is going to go up in all over the world, especially in UK, in Europe and all that. And then we will see high inflation number coming from those countries, which will definitely and then China too, and we'll definitely see the impact on our economy going forward. So there are chances that we will see a June lows for sure in the stock market. I mean, if you look at Microsoft, guys, that's the early indication from Microsoft. You want to see this, how these names are being traded. Microsoft already June lows, it already broke it. This is not a small name, right? This is Microsoft, Apple, this Meta, or all these Tesla, all these names, they carry some market. It shows the strength of the US stock market. And then when these names hitting the lows, when these names, breaking the June lows, and then looking at Nvidia breaking, um, you know breaking June lows, and then it just gives early indication of what's next coming for the US stock market. So there's no point, there's no reason to be, to be bullish here at current levels. When the bottom is in, then you will start to see, guys, when you will see start to see more bad news, and then when Fed comes out and say already we are in a recession, that when that when the bottom will be in, right? No reason to be, guys, optimistic. Just play the levels, just look around what's going on, around the world, around everything else, then everything would make sense. So Microsoft, we run Microsoft, Norwegian Cruise, we did in net. Net is a good one. Just watching ARC. So if ARC break the lows, net is a good shot. Otherwise, not touching it. Netflix is a good one to play the upside. Let's say market is found the short term bottom form for the wave one, and it's ready for some sort of retracement for a potential dump later this month or early next month, which is gonna happen. And 242, for a temporary, um, is the level I'm watching to play the upside on Netflix. Neo, I already told you one Neo. Nike is whatever. Nvidia, I'm watching the upside actually on it. The reason it's close to my call trigger, and then market decided to bounce. It's nice 3-day range. There's a not much support here in this range here, just complete dump. So very low chances that it will reject in this range after breaking out. As Okta, really good short setup setting up in the market. Earnings gap down 35%, price consolidating sideways, probably in an inside double inside week, followed by outside week. So definitely big move coming in Okta, breaking 50 at 60, break 50 at 61, and then 52 next on Okta. Same thing with SPY, guys. Look at SPY. I'm gonna show you SPY weekly chart. Is, look, guys, outside day, dump back down, dump it, outside day followed by another outside day on SPX. So what's going to happen next week, we'll see. If we break this outside week low, it's very bearish. It's very bearish. If we close this and close below it, it's very bearish. So anything in between, let's say because of FOMC, market gaps up and then it made this inside candle on it, guys, this would be the perfect setup in the US stock market history, probably in decades, right? So inside week, outside weeks, all these patterns setting up, break the range either side, is going to be an explosive move. So you don't want to miss out. Oxy, Pen, W, Pen. I don't know how to feel about Pen. As Pepsi, we talk about utility. So, pick and choose, one of the names that you like to play, and then just no need to, have overcrowded watch list. Just have one name from every single sector in your watch list, and then you're set. So Qualcomm watching the downside as I'm watching Nvidia the upside. Qualcomm has a better risk to reward to the downside. The reason broke this trend here, retested it, and then kind of rejected too. So if we break this Friday lows, I'm expect to 120.51 to trade on Qualcomm. Roblox, holding this uptrend here nicely, but I would like to see the break of Friday lows just to play intraday. A quick scalp or on intraday, but a big level is this September 8 lows. September 6 lows here, 35.75. Break that and say waterfall to the downside. RCL, same setup as Norwegian Cruise. Don't want to have too many names in the watch list from the same sector. Then I don't want to miss out on any other names. So Riot, same thing. Rivian, I'm watching. Rivian, Lucid, GM. I would definitely take a trade in one of these three going into next week. Roku, sideways. I don't want to play Roku. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hopping in. I'll catch you guys definitely next week. And then Starbucks can be the upside. What is the daily magnet? Looks like a topping pattern, but be careful playing Starbucks at these levels. You know, Charles Schwab. This is the banking name that I like. Bull flag. And then if we break the 72.50 level, is a nice upside play. Quick scalp, no swings. SC not a play right now. Uh, Shopify not really a play yet. Just a sideways consolidation. Snap is a play. Snap is a play. Nice range here. Broke this uptrend, close below it. Nice volume coming in. So definitely watching this 1127 level break here to play the downside of the target of 1067. So huge targets on intraday, probably 100% play if we break this level here. So should be on your watch list. Snow, the cons are pretty weird on this one. So expensive for small accounts, um, but there's a setup. Double top almost, and then we break this daily range. It's gonna flush back down. So watching this 170, 180 level to play the downside on Snow should give us a nice move. Yeah, 180 is a big level. Square, well, just watching arc name guys, to be honest. I always play Square. I play Square, Roku, Twilio, and SC. All these 4 or 5 names I play whenever I see arc is a downside. When arc is moving down, I don't play the upside on these shitty names. Because why? T-Mobile, we talked about it, guys. Communication sector is pretty fucked up, and then T and VZs are gonna get clapped even more. Um, and Enphase Energy is a setup I'm watching, and then TAN is the ETF as a solar ETF. So consists 20% of Enphase Energy. So if Enphase Energy is moving, TAN is gonna move. Target holding this uptrend here. So not interested in longs on target unless we break this highs, right? And then confirm it, and then quick upside, and then it has a nice daily supply waiting. So for a downside, watching Friday lows break with the intraday downside at 157.28 target. Tesla looking fucking strong, guys. I'm telling you, Tesla. Let's run a quick waves on Tesla. Looks like a 5 waves move up. This is gonna end bad. This is gonna, guys, one more highs on Tesla and it's game over. 5 moves up, huge volume coming in. That's what I like to see. Huge volume break out of this zone, trap the bulls, close above it for 1 or 2 days, and then reverse back it down, and then break this uptrend here. So nice short opportunity setting up in Tesla, and then we will short the top on this one. But now is not the time. Other than names, Twilio, I like Twilio, but looks like rejecting of this prior range here. So went here, retested it. So any level break here, which is 70 to 80 level breaks, can bring more downside to Twilio. Really good name, moves really nicely any day of the week. 7 to 6 cons are pretty spready, but I always manage to get a good feel on this one because I'm playing this for almost more than a year, I guess. Shorting it all the way back down, starting here. So it's easy to play. All these Kathy names, easy money. Unity Software, another Kathy names getting clapped. It's gonna go more down, pretty weak. So any prior day low breaks on these names is a good shot intraday. Ooh, UPS is a one that's UPS is a one that I wanna swing. Um, it has earnings 25 October. So we saw this downtrend here. So I think if the move is completed, then gap fill, retested this zone here again. Good, gave us a nice wave one, wave two, nice shot, and then dump it back down to here, to test this gap here. Right, so this is a nice volume gap too. If you look at volume profile, this volume profile, nice big ass gap, waiting for it to come fill. So it's gonna fill it. UPSD weak as fuck, but good play if it breaks this all-time lows here. Anything in between it can just bounce anytime. So I would wait for this 2250 level break to play the downside on it. Upwork bit extended, it's all right. Pass. Visa shitty cons. VZ, you guys know the deal. You guys know it. Guys, this name WBA, one of the perfect short setups out there. I shot the fuck out of it, this one on this drop here. So the reason they did an offering for 33.5, and then since then price is dropping, expecting a more drop to come. Friday lows break 33 next, which is also a covid lows breaks, which gonna break pretty soon. And then it's okay. Then what's next? Then we have 28.50 as our next level on it. So definitely a big short opportunity setting up on Walgreens. X, nah, X looking weak though. I mean XCLF, either you can play any name. So I'll be watching X to play the downside. XM might be another one. So XL is weak. This like uptrend channel broke down on some high volume. We break this lows here on XOM, and then we can see some serious downside on these names here. So 89.21. Guys, you are seeing me today not talking about the upside at all. The thing is, guys, I will talk about the upside when I see a nice structure to the downside, or I see some exhaustion, seller exhaustion. But right now, every single pop is getting sold. There's no point of me going bullish. Guys, this is a name XPEV. I'm shorting the fuck out of it too, since this broke this lows here, right? So Fridays I did scalp it for a small percentage, but I couldn't catch the full move. But now I think it's a good time going. It's a Neo or XPEV or Baba. These three names watching next week. But XPEV is my number one list. So any pullback, if I see in this range here, or we break the Friday lows, instant dump to the downside. Zoom, no, not Zoom, not ZS. So I think, guys, that was it. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat, or if you guys have any chart request, let me know too in the chat. So if I missed any, I'll chart it again. And then also, guys, I want to share something. And then, guys, one last thing that I want to share with you guys, and if you guys are new here and don't know that we have opened our own Discord community. And then if you guys want to join, you guys are welcome to join. There's a link in my Twitter bio, I guess, or if you are in the free Discord, and then if you want to check out the premium section, you are welcome to. And if you guys have any questions about about the premium service, or about any chart or any questions you have, just DM me, or ask here, or ask in the Discord, or post it on the Twitter. So I would happy to help you out all. So looks like there are no chart requests. I pretty much did cover most of the names. So I guess we'll take a leave, guys, on today's session, and then I'll catch you guys in the next week. I hope you guys learned something new today, on all these names. And then if you guys did like this charting session, please go ahead on Twitter and then write some nice words about it. I would really appreciate. All right, guys, have a good day. I'll catch you guys later on. Love you all.